Alright guys, so for this I'm going to go ahead and watch the dev live stream, but I'm doing it off of stream myself. I'm just going to go through it, I'm going to cut out any of the fluff and all the stuff that doesn't really matter. And we're just going to give you guys a condensed version of the dev live stream and any of my thoughts about any of the good news or anything that's coming up out of Tokyo Game Show for next month's update. Alright guys, so basically what they did was they showcased off their booth, and I don't really care about the booth at Tokyo Game Show. If this is something you want to see, I'll have a link to the full dev live stream, and you can go check out the booth that they did there. But this really doesn't give us any information, and I think this is a lot of filler, and I know this isn't something everybody wants to see. Alright guys, so we basically skipped everything from the Tokyo Game Show. None of it was important, and their team has just done their introductions, and we're getting ready to see what they're going to give us for the upcoming update.
So swords are finally being released. The Shadow and Deus Ex Manus swords will be added to the game, and new models and external components that are specific to swords will also be added to the game as well. And we're also getting a new zone to the Void Vessel, which is the medium-sized facility zone. We'll explain.
I know that skin update and balance are two different things, but it sounds like they're going to do a balance patch on the skins in the game. I know that they're not, but that's exactly what skin balance and update reads like to me.
More details when showing our game build. Yeah. And additionally, new trigger modules will be added along with a new Void Abyss intercept battle named the Lava Citadel, and the 4-player Field Colossus Executioner will be added as well. And we'll also cover various QOL updates, including skins and balance changes, all coming October 1st. So please stay tuned until the end. All right, then let's take a look at the sword, something probably many of you have been eagerly anticipating. And ever since it was revealed, I think many players were very curious about how it worked. And currently, our descendants, they're actually just dealing damage with guns and skills. And adding this new sword to the game, it really makes me wonder how this is going to be used.
Okay.
지금 선택한 계승자는 글레이네요.
네.
스킨 그거 아니에요? 애프터샤워?
네.
So you've chosen Glay, right? I mean, the skin seems to be after a shower, which is a bit
아주 잘
unexpected.
어울리네, 근데.
네.
It looks good on her.
네, 이렇게 염색해두면 약간 도복 같은.
Man, there's just like no possible way to get through one segment without gooning.
So you might think I chose Glay due to ammunition and to use increased sensory. However, the Shadow Sword consumes stun rounds, so it's a sword that can be utilized by other descendants as well.
Okay, so it uses green rounds.
Speaking of ammo, let me ask this. Can players still, like swing the sword like that after running out of ammo?
So far, these swords seem to be the exact opposite of what we needed, because they don't seem to have any sort of like projectile or slice. It's hard to tell because there's no enemies. Like you can see like a blue like tracer left behind, so we need to see how they work.
Wow. Yeah, so let me begin by showing the basic attack.
이렇게 공격 중에
Maybe there's a heavy
중기를
attack or
하거나
something
공격
that I
중에
don't
스킬을
understand.
쓰면서 바로 자연스럽게 다른 액션으로 연계할 수가 있고요.
Yes, so players can naturally transition into other actions during attacks by rolling or using skills.
네, 검도 총기처럼 고유 능력을 가지는데요. 그림자의 고유 능력은 이렇게 돌진해서 적을 베는 그림자 배기입니다.
Wow. Like firearms, swords have unique abilities, and the Shadow's unique ability is Shadow Slash, which dashes forward to slash enemies. Sword's unique ability can be activated by using the aim button. Right now, the sword's attack speed, it kind of feels a bit sluggish. But I guess by, setting the modules, it will let us attack faster, right? Through modules, options, and core settings, players can maximize the attack speed or build other efficient setup for the swords. A lot faster. 많이 빨라졌어요, 되게.
네.
So it's going to be a single target weapon, basically, is what it looks like.
중에는,
It
보조 공격
might
대신에
take the place of
방어를
something
사용할 수가
like
있는데,
the last dagger, but we need to see it in
방어
game.
중에는 데미지를 경감시키면서 적에게 근접할 수 있는 이 검의 공통 능력입니다.
Also, while using the sword, players can use defense, like getting that sword up, like instead of the sub attacks. This is a common ability of swords that lets players absorb damage while closing in on the enemies. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing various builds that will come with swords. And before moving on to the Deus Ex Manus sword, let's take a look at the skins for the Shadow. I heard that an advanced weapon skin will be added to the sword. 그래서 데우스 엑스 마누스로 좀 넘어가기
What's an advanced
전에
weapon
이
sword?
그림자의 스킨도 살펴보면 좋을 것 같은데요. 이번 검에는
I have no idea what that means.
그런 무기 스킨이 추가된다고 해서 많이 기대가 됩니다.
Unless it's sort of like a
먼저,
weapon skin that
네,
upgrades.
동양의 검을 모티브로 한 장검 스킨 무사도. 네. 고요. 글레이 지금 스킨이 그냥 잘 어울리는데 슬리퍼에 자꾸 눈길이 갔어요. 그거 아니면 되게 잘 어울리는 하려는데 자꾸 저 슬리퍼가.
I feel like the other sword was an actual skin, and this one's just like the base
이게
version.
의도죠?
네.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So first up is the Way of the Warrior, a long sword skin inspired by Eastern swords, and it fits perfectly with Glay over there. But yeah, our producer said that he keeps on looking at those slippers over there. But it looks like the director had this in mind from the start.
네, 더 무사 처음으로 등장하는
I've seen this skin before. I didn't realize.
조화와 균형입니다.
So this is the first Transcendent skin that's coming out, and this is something that I really wanted to show to everyone: harmony and balance.
이 기존의 무기 스킨이 외형만 바꾸는 거였다면 이번에
What makes this skin so special, and can you earn it or do you buy it? Those are the big questions.
방식의 스킨이라고 할 수 있는데요. 보여주실래요?
So while existing weapon skins only change the weapon's appearance, Transcendent tier weapon skins also alter the effects and sounds. So director, you show off an attack. Wow.
네, 아까 파란색이었는데 네, 검은색 테두리가 있는 보라색으로 바뀌었네요.
That's going to be a premium cost, I guarantee
Originally
you.
blue toned have changed to black and purple.
네. 그리고
Looks
이게
cool, but
사운드
it's going to
최종이
be
아니고
a $30, $40 skin, I guarantee it.
여기 사운드 최종이 아니고 여기서 좀 더 바뀔 예정이라고 합니다. 그래서
Also, that dash
여기
seems to be
것처럼
almost impossible to
이펙트하고
aim.
효과음이
I think the skin idea is super cool. I'm going to have to wait to see if it's something you buy in the cash shop, which it probably is, or if it's something that's earnable. Kind of wish it was something that's earnable, especially after playing Borderlands so much recently. It's nice to see so many cool earnable cosmetics. So we'll just have to see how it goes when it comes out.
So Way of the Warrior can be purchased directly from the store, but Harmony and Balance over there, that will be sold in a different way, and I'll explain this part in more detail a bit later. Understood. Got it. So let's move
Oh, so they're gonna. So hold on. So you can buy the one from the store, but the Harmony and Balance you have to buy a different way. Curious.
on to the next sword, Deus Ex Manus, and so this sword must be like the Godborn from Manus, I guess. Yeah, I wonder what abilities it possesses to earn such a name.
네. 네. 데우스 엑스 마누스는 제
I mean, it gives a really cool
캐릭터이자
stance to
한이 서린
Ajax in the
캐릭터인
character
AJAX로
selector,
한번
so I like
아닌
that.
것 같아 한번
For sure.
밸런스를 보니까 애정 캐릭터 아닌 것
Yeah,
같아.
so let me demonstrate
Maybe a crit
Deus
sword?
Ex Manus with Ajax, my favorite character, and one that brings lots of emotion.
네, 뭐 에이젝스랑 맞춰서 가져온 건요. 뭐 다른 이유는
Definitely
없고요.
seems like a crit
육중한
sword.
대겸이 에이젝스와 잘 어울려서 가져왔습니다. 네.
So no other reason, it just set this massive great sword over there that suits Ajax perfectly.
And it's heavy
I agree with
ammo.
that. It looks absolutely perfect strapped to his back. It feels like
The sword's heavy ammo. We'll have to see what happens on Serena with it because of the way you can get skill damage procs off of it.
Ajax was born to wield this sword. Yeah, there's
네,
Let's see what it does.
평타로 에너지를 모아서 네,
Whoa.
강공격을 할 수 있는 그런
It's got like a giant
So that
cleave
red
on
thing
it.
over there, you get that strong hitting right there.
Interesting.
Like that. Yeah. You can build stacks with normal attacks, and using its unique ability while stacked deals lots of damage.
네, 그리고 지금 이 데우스 엑스 마누스는요. 모듈 세팅으로 공격 속도를 이렇게 극대화시킨 상태이고
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do with it.
Please note that the Deus Ex Manus shown here has its attack speed enhanced to the maximum with the model settings.
So far, everything makes it look like these are going to be single target weapons. You're not going to be bulk mobbing with them, which is kind of what we figured. There was a debate in the community on whether they were going to be stat sticks or single target damage weapons. They seem to be single target damage weapons. They might replace the last dagger, but we're going to have to put some builds on them and see. This is sort of like the best worst case scenario on them, so I kind of figured this was what we were going to get.
Yeah, that's correct. Using the same system as firearms, players can readjust, unlock cores, and equip cores as well. So swords use the same augmentation cores as the firearms. Wow, that's really great to hear that we can do it with the pre-prepared materials. So can you also show the skins for the Deus Ex Manus as well? Yeah.
Good news is we don't have to farm new cores. That's a positive. So that's actually a huge boon. Hopefully the fire rate cores become swing speed. So all in all, for a lot of us who've been playing for a long time, you'll be able to just get the swords and then just go right into working on them.
그래서 미리
So that's a good
준비해둔
thing.
쓴다는 건 정말 활용할 만한 소식이고요. 그럼 데우스 엑스 마누스의 스킨도 한번 보여주시기 바랍니다.
네.
Yeah, so we prepared two skins, and the first one is the Grandmaster's sword skin, an ultimate tier skin modeled after a medieval knight's sword.
중세 기사 갑옷을 입고 있어야 될 것 같은 느낌.
It looks like he should be wearing some kind of armor from the medieval ages.
네. 그리고 두 번째 스킬은 마찬가지로
Definitely looks like the swords lock your movement, and I don't know that I like that. I think the swords locking your movement is going to be kind of a problem for people because you're not going to be able to hold forward and swing. And I think that's going to be an issue in a game that's all about moving quickly. So we'll have to look into it, but yeah, I think that you not being able to walk and swing is going to slow people down, and it's not going to feel good.
Which changes effects and sounds as well. The furnace, it almost looks like a big hammer, and our initial trailer featured Ajax swinging a massive hammer. So I hope Furnace captures that kind of romance. It also fits perfectly with his unique ability to stack for a powerful single strike.
I think the weapon looks really cool. I like the sort of axe skin. I think it looks really cool. I think it's a fun looking skin. Just like I thought the last skin was a fun looking skin, the Transcendent skin. I'm just curious how we get them.
Strong strikes.
That's what I'm really curious about is these Transcendent skins.
It feels
like really curious about it. So hopefully we get them easily.
Manus. And we're also adding the Manus set, which is an external component for melee weapons.
The Mantis set might be good.
Yeah, looking over there, since it's an external component that boosts melee weapon attack power, it seems that it will pair well with the melee weapons.
I'll be curious with the melee set because it seems like the only reason you would ever wear it is if you're doing a pure melee build, and you wouldn't typically do a pure melee build in a hybrid mobbing running build. So they definitely seem like they're going to be something that will be for boss burnouts only if these swords are actually viable.
Yeah, so both new swords and external components can be farmed from the new Void Vessel, the medium-sized facility zone. And the medium-sized facility zone offers two difficulty levels, which are normal and hard. Players can farm all swords on both difficulties, but of course the blueprint drop rate is higher on hard difficulty. Yeah, all right, so new weapon farming in a new dungeon sounds exciting indeed. And our producer just so happened to mention the new Void Vessel, so let's move on to the medium-sized facility zone. Yeah, 그래서 새로운 던전에서
yeah, I figured
파밍한다니 또
I figured everything would be farmed in the new Void Vessel, so hopefully the new Void Vessel is not too bad.
굉장히 신나는데. Yeah, so the Hound unit has found an undiscovered section of the Void Vessel, and it's called the medium-sized facility zone. So access is now available via the teleporter.
I'm assuming...
And a button has also been added on the full map for direct entry. Yeah, but, you know, looking at the map, I get this feeling that this newly discovered section isn't the whole thing, yeah. I mean, looking all those...
I'm assuming the assumed bridge zone is the original one.
Zone. So, Director, what are the key features of this?
I'm assuming. Let's hear what they say.
오늘은 좀 중규모 설비 구역에
But yeah, right now I'm assuming that the middle is the old Void Vessel and the outside is the new one, but we'll see what they say.
아주 마음에 들어요. 실내에서 맨날 못 타갖고.
Yeah, he really likes it, and I do too. So a new boss appears in this area, and as a dungeon for farming swords, the enemy attacks using swords as well, and it charges in to slash the players, similar to the shadow you saw earlier. And another feature is the presence of sections where players can ride the hover bike, and by effectively using boost pads and jump pads, players will be able to navigate the route more quickly. 네, 새로운 이 중규모 설비 구역 딱 입장을 했습니다. medium-sized facility zone. Yeah, and rushing through that with the hover bike looks really cool. 호모바이크로 딱 등장을 하니까 정말 멋있네요.
Alright.
바로 봄으로 이어집니다. Flashing them with that sword over there. And yeah, I mean, the sword, it's really performing well, and I think I'll check it out when it comes out on. there's 확실히 검이 이게
I mean,
굉장히
I
빠르고 빠르고.
I don't know anybody that actually will play this slow through the Void Vessel, honestly. This whole room will be deleted by Inez or Freyna or basically any other Descendant, and will already be further through. So, like, unfortunately, the swords don't really seem to be adding very much or doing very much. I mean, it seems like an interesting gameplay style, but this is sort of the fear that we had, some of us had with swords. So this is interesting for sure. That's to say least.
Not dying.
네, 안 죽고 싶어요.
He doesn't want to
안
die.
죽고 싶어요.
And I totally agree with him. It's like a challenge.
And then, like, right there, even right there, the bosses or the game director is like, hey, I don't want to die, so I can't rush in and use my swords. So I just have to sit back and use my turrets because he doesn't want to die, which just shows that they're like not really effective.
Limited to everywhere except the boss room.
Oh man, this is tough. This is tough. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna cut this segment down
이렇게 넓은 구간이.
because this is gonna take him probably 20 minutes to clear this void.
So many enemies.
It's probably gonna take him 20 minutes to clear this
Large
void
area
vessel
here.
alone. I think like one of the biggest downsides I'm seeing with the sword right now is you can't like walk and use it.
Showing off
So
that.
it's see like when he's slashing, he's kind of locked in place,
Oh my god.
and the slashes are only locked in place, and then
yes,
he can't like move into the enemies. I think that's going to be a negative, and that's I think that Warframe and the way they do it, where you can walk and slash, would be much better in a game like this, where mobility is something that you're trying to prioritize. Because just standing in one spot, swinging a sword, and waiting for everything to walk up to you isn't going to be very good.
Overcome this with that.
Yeah, that's sort of my takeaway so far from watching the swords. We'll see how they look on the boss, but in general mobbing, the swords don't look good at all.
이겨낼 수 있다. 검이 굉장히 지금 좀 멋있거든요 이게.
이제 보스방인데 안 죽기 위해서
Oh,
최선.
boys, I just...
이게 좀 쉬는 시간 같이.
Alright, so maybe this is the boss.
Now the boss room.
Okay.
After that hover bike
So now
area,
let's see how the boss
like
works
the assassin.
and how the swords work on the boss.
Pretty strong.
More than likely, he's going to pop these turrets here to help him do damage. So his turrets are doing most of the damage on the boss, honestly.
검 대 검으로 지금 싸우고 있어요.
He's more than likely going to kill his... Well, he can't kill his turrets because it'll kill the boss.
We're using swords.
His turrets are doing most of the work here. Actually, his turrets are doing basically all of the work here.
발도수를 서로 그냥 하고 난리가 났거든요 지금.
무서워요.
맞짱이네
But
맞짱.
yeah, okay, so he took out one of those. 지금 이제 중간 구간 들어갔고요. 이제 거의 다 왔거든요. Almost there.
Boys.
Almost there, but 또 네 개 또 이게 또 나눠져 있군요. 또 이게.
I'm guessing you probably take some damage walking through that wall. I mean, I'm sure it probably won't kill you. It's probably just really light damage.
Field is out.
They should have put a top on that to prevent Serena from just flying it, right?
Oh, wow. I mean, he's really fierce. 예, 엄청 지금 굉장히 지금 공격적이에요 지금. Oh.
Man, the enemies just move too fast to use the sword.
굉장히 큰 역할을 하고 있습니다.
I mean, this is the...
아군이 되고 있어요.
Boys, I don't know.
그래도 아니었으면 죽었어.
I feel like the last dagger is gonna... Dude, I feel like guns are gonna work a lot better with just enemies dashing around and moving and the swords locking you in place while you swing. Ouch. I mean, we need to see them in game, but ow.
왜 터렛을 갖고 왔는지 아시겠죠?
So looking at those turrets, they're really a big help. So yeah.
여기서 놀릴까 말까. 놀릴까 말까.
Man,
그래서
I don't know.
보시고 이 터렛 잘 활용해라. 고생 많으셨어요.
I just need to use them.
재밌게 잘 봤어. 도내라도 해드려야 될 것 같아.
Very interesting.
That's all I can say is I just need to use the weapons. All right, so those were the swords. That's exciting. Let's see what else they're going to show off.
And in addition to the models for swords, new trigger models will be added as well. And the trigger models being added this time are Supply Fortress, Wave Eruption, and Rhythmic Step. So Rhythmic Step, that definitely seems like a module for a specific descendant. So Director, could you please explain these each one by one?
It seems like they're doing this thing with trigger modules where instead of adding trigger modules that mix up how all descendants play, trigger modules are being added to change one specific descendant for one specific trigger module, which I think is kind of a miss, but we need to see exactly what they're putting in. I'm using a barrier type skill.
So the first new trigger module is Supply Fortress, and since it activates as a barrier type skill, Ajax and Kyle can use this module.
네, 보급 요새는 보호막의 데미지를 입었을
Seems good for
때마다
heavy
탄을
weapons, maybe
획득하고
to pair up with the
반사 피해에 추가
swords.
데미지를 제공하는 모듈입니다.
So Supply Fortress is a module that grants ammunition whenever the shield takes damage and provides additional damage to reflected damage.
네, 이거를 어떤
So
식으로
you
좀
could run a
보여드릴지
reflective
고민을
build
좀
and
많이
then get
했는데요.
heavy
그래서
ammo.
오늘은
Like maybe you
근접
could pair it with
무기를
swords.
활용하는 에이젝스라는 아이디어를 좀 구상을
Maybe you could
해봤고요.
pair it with swords.
근접
It might be a good way to
무기는
do
탄을
it.
소모하지만 재장전이 없기 때문에
I mean, this is basically exactly what I was just thinking, is that you'll use Jax and you'll use his skills to pop barriers and then just have unlimited ammo on your axe, but I don't think it's going to work out quite the way he's thinking. Because if you have a good built Jax, it's just going to kill everything. So using a good built Jax
이렇게 장벽을
to
치면
get
That barrier over there,
네, 탄을 보급할 수가 있어요. 네, 지금
get
보시면
extra ammo like that.
지금 저기 공격할 때마다
unless like doing the like shout attack counts as a barrier, you're not going to get anything, right?
그래서 이렇게 스킬과 함께
탄이 쩍쩍 올라가는구나.
I mean, he's getting some ammo back for sure for them just like hitting his barriers.
Repeatedly.
I mean, he's definitely getting some ammo back, but I just don't see this being a viable playstyle for like mobbing or anything, but I can see it working if you're
네,
playing
그리고 두
Ajax
번째
anyway.
트리거
So,
모듈은
but
파동 분출인데요.
you're going to be using
이거
your skills.
실험실로
Most of
이동해서
us spam our skills anyway, so
So the second trigger module is Wave Eruption.
I don't know. We'll try it in
We'll be showing
game,
this at
but
the
I mean, like even in Void Vessel, we just run around spam our skills and everything dies. So just having the sword that you can swing isn't really going to help you because everything's already dead.
into the laboratory.
But you could use it to get rounds back for your sword while you're trying to fight the boss, maybe. Right? That instead of using like the last dagger, when you're fighting the boss, you could just throw up a couple barriers and then just use your sword on the boss. And when the boss is shooting, just have him shoot the barriers to give you ammo back. So there's definitely some synergies there with Jax. So I think that trigger model probably be one of the better ones for him.
네, 파동 분출은
If you're not using power
분출
beyond
유형의
to just
스킬을
make his
사용할 때
barriers do more
발동되는
damage.
효과이고요. 블레어의 3번 스킬을 사용할 때 효과를 발동시킬 수가 있습니다.
So the Wave Eruption activates when using emission type skills, and you can activate this by using Blair's third skill.
네, 블레어의 3번 스킬을 사용할 때 이동 속도가 증가하고 스택에 따라서 데미지가 증가하는 효과인데요. 지금 보시면 다시 한번 써보겠습니다. 지금 번쩍번쩍 하는 게 그 파동
I didn't see what it
분출의
did.
효과입니다.
So using Blair's third skill increases movement speed and boosts damage based on the stacks. So he's gonna show it again. Yeah, like that. So he's gonna change it to power beyond and test it.
지금 2,900만 정도의 데미지를
With
넣고요.
power beyond, that's 29 million.
네, 그리고 다시
So 29 mil with power beyond.
똑같은 위치에서 다시 봐야겠네. 털 데미지가 누적됐어.
2,900만.
All right, let's see what this looks like.
7, 8, 9.
It's about the same
이거는
damage.
지금 치명이 좀 덜 뜬 것 같아요.
Bit of a low critical strike is
네.
what
네.
just
It's
said.
it's
더도
like
3,400만
roughly around the same
정도
damage. It
되는데.
looks like within a couple mil, but if it gives you move speed, then that's going to be helpful.
네, 3,500만, 3,800만. 네.
I mean, he's hitting about 10 mil more because of the ETC damage.
이렇게
So,
스택을 쌓고
it definitely looks like it's
유지할수록
better
점점
than
강력한
Power
점수를,
Beyond.
넣을 수 있는
If it gives him move
모듈이고요.
speed, though, that's going to be where it's
활용할 수
huge.
있는, 트리거 모듈입니다.
More
So-
stacks players build and maintain, the more powerful the damage becomes, so making this module ideal for Blair's primary skill.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to probably be
모듈은요,
best for Blair right now. It seemed like the damage that it scaled up was really nice.
전용으로 보이는 리듬
Um,
스택 트리거 모듈입니다.
So it's probably going to be best, honestly.
just by
It'll
looking at
probably be the
name,
one we switch him out to.
stack appears like a trigger module exclusive. So this module grants a stacking buff that increases movement speed and maximum shield when using rhythm type skills. So our director said that it matches well with the Battlefield concert module.
네,
I mean, it goes with the Battlefield concert, or you could just put it on her other Battlefield mod just for...
Slight issue we have with the effects currently, so we won't be showing today, but you know it will be coming October 1st, so please look forward to that.
It's going to give you more move speed, which is going to be huge for her other module, so you're going to lose some damage by using it, but you're going to be able to move faster, so it just depends on what you want right there.
We'll have the opportunity
We'll have to
test
try it in
that,
game and see if
October
there's like
1st,
some
so
weird synergies,
thank you
but
for the
all of these look like
introduction. It
positives
seems
for the
our
specific
director put
descendants.
particular effort into introducing Ajax today. Yeah, so I hope the day comes when Ajax rises high, carrying our director's aspirations. So, director, where can we farm the new trigger modules? Yeah, so all of the new trigger modules can be farmed in the new Void Vessel area. But, you know, wait a moment. Come to think of it, the Legion of Breach, it seems to have been added to the laboratory.
So the trigger modules come from Void Vessel instead of
좀 추가된 게 살짝 보였거든요.
Wally.
네,
That's interesting.
다양한 환경에 대응한 실험이
They're
가능하도록
like just putting stuff everywhere instead of making places that make sense to farm certain things. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we added the Legion of Breach to enable experiments in various environments. And we also increased the maximum monster spawn count to 50 so that it can better measure the performance of AoE skill dealers. Yes.
Well, that's
To hear
nice.
that,
That's a good
Let's leave
improvement.
the lab and head to the new Void Intercept battle, the Lava Citadel. Yeah, 그러면 이제
That's a positive so far. That looks nice. So
라바
that was a
시타델
good quality of life.
가보겠습니다.
네, 여기까지 설명 일단 드리고.
So, Lava Citadel is a variant of the Molten Fortress, and as a fire attribute, it shows weaknesses to chill skills, and its defining feature is its frequent use of skills that attack a wide area across the entire map. And the key to defeating it is to skillfully dodge the Lava Citadel's fire attacks while strategizing. Yeah, a totally new atmosphere. 이거 배경도 이게 완전 약간
Basically just a big flat arena. Interesting.
시타델 등장했습니다.
Okay.
이제 말 안 걸게요. 하세요.
알겠습니다.
네.
집중해서.
Just pure blizzards. No shot, dude. No shot.
Use my mana wisely.
He's got to be weak to skill damage and resist like bullets or something. I mean, he's taking half of the shield off in the first couple seconds and then has just been dying for MP.
He's gonna get some minions out for me. Yeah, over there. 하수인 되게
If he can get MP, he's gonna beat this in 2 minutes. Yeah, if he could get MP, he would have beat this. He would have beat it already. It's cool looking, like cool looking mechanics. You'll never see any of them on Serena. Yeah, he hasn't shot his gun even a single time when he's out of MP.
That part where the lava Citadel goes under.
Or brought like an assault or like a sniper to break weak points.
I don't have the mana to take that out yet. Okay. Okay. 고구간이 좀 위험한데. Yeah. Same thing's gonna begin. Got this. Yeah. Wow. I'll take out 3 of these towers. Second one.
I mean, I think he's running an absolute zero build. It's just not like a cracked absolute zero build.
Killing the minions. Got a lot of mana, so I'm gonna use my skills. Mana here, mana crystals. AoE damage.
Yeah, I'm fully just seeing a Serena burnout on weak points right now, and it's probably gonna nuke it. Serena with Albion or maybe a shotgun, depending on how you want to do it. I mean, it's good to see some of its attacks. It doesn't have any real big immunity bubbles. It doesn't have any like instant kill zones. Right? Like it doesn't have anything really dangerous. Like the Stormhanger was dangerous; it could kill you, and the Ice Maiden had that kill zone. So
intercept successful.
it seems pretty simple. I'd say that we'll be burning that out pretty fast once it goes live. We'll probably burn that pretty quick.
정말 느끼는 바가 많고 재밌었습니다. Quite enjoyed. Yeah, it was tough, but yeah, overall, I think, as our director said before, I think, streamers, they're really amazing. So how do you guys just play while talking at the same time? I think that's really difficult. 그래서 정말, so the Lava Citadel's patterns are intuitive to observe, evade, and counter. So I think many players will find them enjoyable.
I think it's a good use of mechanics. I just wish they were more impactful. I think that they've done a lot better job coming up with good mechanics that are easy to see and deal with. So I commend their team for that. But unfortunately, most of them are just bypassed right now. But all in all, I think that the mechanics looked good on that fight.
So let's take a look at the Lava Citadel skins and Color Toy rewards.
짜잔.
Wow.
I mean, I'll collect them, but I don't like the Lava Citadel skins at all. I think they look terrible. The fucking Color Toy looks okay on the back, but...
되게 귀여워요.
Wow, so that's the Color Toys. Yeah.
손가락으로 꼭 잡고 있어서.
귀엽네요, 진짜.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like that skin at all. Maybe the men's skin will look better, right? Like maybe that helmet looks better on some of the men's skins, but I don't like the skin at all.
Okay. Yeah, so our producer said he wants it on his back, but anyways, yeah.
귀엽잖아요. 네.
I imagine it'll hopefully look better on the guys. I don't know how I feel about the helmet. Jesus, it makes you a chunky boy. It's got sort of a samurai look to it. I kind of don't hate the men's skin. The backpack is just huge.
닌자 거북이? 닌자 거북이?
Ninja Turtles.
닌자 거북이 아닌 것 같은데.
It definitely has like a
닌자
shogun
거북이
sort of look with the helmet.
나중에.
I don't really mind it on the guy's
Maybe later
face.
we'll color it into Ninja Turtles. So that
I think once you color it, it probably looks
introduction
okay.
of Lava Citadel and Void Intercept skin rewards. Next, we'll move on to introducing QOL improvements as previously announced. So as Jason mentioned, I believe this is a feature many players have been hoping for. Previously, players had to finish intercept battles to open Amorphous materials. Now it's become much simpler.
네, 바로 여기에 있는 정형화 장치로 개봉이 가능해졌습니다. 네, 이제 비정형 물질을
Can we open, like,
하면
bulk
알비온에서
and not just one at a
바로
time?
개봉하고 도면을 획득할 수 있습니다.
So players can open it right here using that shaping device. Now after farming the amorphous materials, players can open them directly in Albion and acquire the blueprints. Wow, but you know, there are a bit of concerns within the community about why these changes are being made and
Shape continuously?
whether we're like overly simplifying all of the content. So director, could you explain the intent behind attempting all these changes? 예, 그래서 이 커뮤니티에서는 좀 너무 콘텐츠를 간소화시키는
So then you'll just click shape now. That's fast. That's nice. That's much better.
그런 글들을 많이 봤는데 또 혹시 어떤 의도로 이런 변화를 계획하고
That's gonna be nice.
설명해 주실 수 있을까요? So that's a good point. It started with the fact that hard intercept battles lost its value as meaningful content. So we want to renew hard intercept battles into meaningful content again. And we anticipated that if the content were modified to increase difficulty or lengthen the playtime, players opening amorphous materials in hard intercepts would become dissatisfied.
네, 그래서 어려운
I mean, that's
무역전과
fair.
비정형
If they're gonna
물질 개봉을
repurpose that hard
분리하자라는
content,
의도에서
then
출발을 하게 되었습니다.
it makes sense to
Therefore,
move
the
that out of
initial
there.
intent was to separate hard intercept battles from opening amorphous materials. Wow.
Makes sense.
Well, then I got like two different questions. So first, what happens to the amorphous material that were opened from the reactors? And second, are you planning to renew the hard intercept battles as well? So 그래서 두 가지 질문이 좀
Yeah,
생기는데
I mean,
첫 번째는 그럼 그 중함로에서
it makes
개봉하는
sense.
비정형 물질은
So
어떻게
hopefully they do something good with the hard intercept battles.
말씀 주신 어려운 요구
Because like one of the biggest issues with the hard intercept battles is you couldn't make them hard because then you gatekept people out of gear. And while I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing to have gear that is hard to achieve or hard to obtain, so much gear and so many blueprints were locked behind the hard battles that you were effectively locking most of all of your casuals out. So I could see why they would want to change it, and it makes sense that they're changing it. So we just need to see what they turn the hard intercept battles into, because if they can utilize them and create some type of actual difficult content that is both good to grind and rewarding, then I think it's a win.
First, amorphous materials that were open from reactors, they can be opened in Albion as well. Additionally, we're planning a complete rework of the hard intercept battles as entirely new content, and it's currently in a conceptual phase and will be included in next year's roadmap. Looking at the recent situation, high-level players can defeat the Colossus in hard intercept battles faster than the loading time. So they primarily use private matches. But on the other hand, lower level players whose gear is still pretty underpowered, they join public matches. However, when they join these matches, they often fail because they're matched with similar low level players, and ultimately they struggle with the farming itself. Since the hard intercept battles, they no longer provide like an enjoyable experience for players and is actually making the farming much more difficult. We've decided on making these improvements on the hard intercept battles.
No, I mean, everything they said makes sense. I think that from a like a pure design standpoint is a perfectly good idea.
And the next improvement is also something that raises many questions, specifically the removal of weapon optimization conditions from the reactors themselves. So director, could you explain more about this as well? Yeah, 그래서
I don't think that this, we've talked about this numerous times on the stream. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I think it's old content that was added to just prolong the grind because there was nothing else to grind. But as we continue to gain more complex systems, old antiquated systems need to go away because you're just getting too deep and too many systems. And a lot of these systems are locked behind RNG, which is never good when it comes to trying to acquire these items. So I think that getting rid of some of these, while there are going to be some players that are kind of upset, and there are even going to be some players that are mad because they feel like they wasted resources and they deserve to get them back. I don't think anybody deserves to get anything back, and I think the First Descendant team shouldn't waste development time or resources trying to figure out how to reimburse players for quote-unquote wasted resources. I think this is perfectly fine, and I think as long as they continue to innovate and add new things, then distilling or outright removing old systems that just don't make sense in the current game is not necessarily a bad thing.
다음 개선 사항. So as you can see, the optimization requirements have all vanished from the game. Many players, they have requested this feature for a long time, but I do have a question. Why did we suddenly remove these requirements? Because and is there any compensation for players who have already spent money on these implants? Yeah. Let me explain why we made these changes. So the primary reason is to help new players adapt to the game, and optimizing the reactor increases skill power by 160%, and so it's actually essential to match that. However, during the early progression phase, players frequently they switch new reactors and weapons, so making the optimization process quite difficult. And actually, many players they didn't even understand the need for the optimization, so therefore we removed it to help new players settle in the game.
I think that, so I just want to jump in here. There were two ways to solve this problem. One, teach players what's going on. Explain to them the importance through in-game mechanics and through in-game menus and in-game prompts to let people understand why it's so important, right? Upskill your players so they can deal with more complicated systems in the future. That's option one. Option two, just remove it, right? And then just let your players be dumb. I understand both ways to do this, and I still stick with what I said before about old systems just need to be removed, but it's sort of indicative of the problem, or at least one of the problems that I see right now, which is there's always an opportunity to teach your players about your game, and it seems like when that opportunity comes up, a lot of times the developers just opt to remove the teaching the players thing and just remove friction, and I think you need a level of friction in games to keep your players engaged. I'm not saying this was the right friction to leave in the game, but we've constantly seen removals of friction, and it feels like everything is being done for new players with no friction being added to help sort of keep long-term players engaged.
Second, new weapons keeping added, and this time we have a new weapon as the swords. Additionally, as the overall meta it shifts, there was a burden of constantly needing to re-implant new weapon optimization conditions. So there was also the issue that the optimization conditions caused players to become locked into like specific weapons. So overall, we removed this so that the players can adapt their builds more flexibly. Oh, great. Now, I can now fully understand the reason for removing this, but what about the cost already invested in the implants? So,
don't whine about the cost. Just get over it. It's a game.
I heard that we're improving Kyle, and since the improvements to Jaber and Lepic went well, the community is really looking forward to Kyle as well. So Director, could you show us the improvements through the game build? Yeah, 그래서 이어서 10월에 있을 월간.
All right, let's see what Kyle looks like. Let's see if he's going to be useful. I'll be really curious.
홀드한 채로 이동하면 이렇게 길게 발사가 됩니다.
That goes, I was like, that goes much further, but
길게. 네,
looks like you can hold it to go further.
그리고 스킬을 사용하면 점프가 초기화되기 때문에 공중에서 연속으로 사용할 수 있게 되었습니다. 네, 뭐 예를 들어
Maybe you've always been able to hold it and I've just never held it and I've just spammed it.
이렇게 공중에서 사용할 수가 있고요.
Been significantly improved. For the first skill, repulsion dash, now lets Kyle dash a longer distance when holding the skill button. Additionally, using the skill now resets your jump, enabling consecutive use while mid-air. So it also now deals damage to enemies that have been penetrated.
It seems like it has a little bit bigger of a
이번
radius on it. I can't
들고
really
다니는
tell
형태에서
though.
앞으로 발사하는 방식으로 개선이 되었고요. 네, 이렇게 자성보루를 발사하고 적을 공격할 수가 있습니다.
So the
second
barrier-
magnetic bulwark has been improved from holding it around to firing it to those in front of it. So you can now fire the magnetic bulwark and attack enemies with it.
It's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think it's maybe better to be able to fire it than carry it. So, I mean, that seems like an improvement to his kit.
Magnetism Spurt now provides a buff that reduces damage taken and increases movement speed.
네, 그리고 4번
It's like
초전도
EC.
추진기는 공중에서 사용하면 바로 스킬을 발동하도록 개선이 되었는데요.
It looks like the skill functions like EC. So,
네, 이게 원래고요.
you might be able to AoE mob with it. We'll have to mess with it and see.
Superconductive bombing now activates instantly.
네, 이렇게 점프하고 쓰면 바로 갑니다.
Oh, yeah. So activating instantly when used in mid-air.
Okay, so that's nice.
Really fast.
Yeah, that activates pretty quick. I'm wondering about that 3, if we're going to be able to use it as like electric condense, but we'll have to wait and see. See what the red mod changes are.
방식이었는데 공중에 멈춰서 지상을 향해 폭격하는 형태로 수정이
I
되었습니다.
mean, I don't know that I'll use him.
Additionally, changes have been made to Kyle's superconductive bombing transcendent module as well. Previously, it involved moving through the air while dropping bombs on the ground, and it has been modified to bomb the ground while hovering in midair.
아이네.
네.
느낌이 나는데.
네. 이런
I think that might be a good change for it. We need to see if we can just bomb the shit out of one zone for like a boss.
Through the last monthly balance update, Lepic
That might be decent.
Definitely rising to S tier descendants. I'm so excited to see if Kyle can join Lepic and Jaber in their ranks and reclaim the crown of the formal Kyle Emperor. The October 1st update will balance Ajax, Asimo, and Bunny. Ajax will receive
Bunny's
a
getting
buff
another
with
one?
his skill power and his gun buff to bolster his previously lacking combat effectiveness. And Asimo's build-up speed has been slightly increased, and adjustments were made to allow him to perform more effectively in intercept battles through his build-up.
Interesting.
Finally, Bunny's weaknesses against enhanced monsters and like big mission bosses have been adjusted as well. So additionally, the movement speeds slow down when Bunny uses Thrill Bomb, Electric Condense, and Superconductor have been improved. So from now on, Bunny can use skills even while sprinting. Wow. And
Interesting.
Last Dev Live players asked about this, about the movement speed reduction when using skills. So can we understand this as a progress towards improving that aspect? Yeah, actually the development team also considered this improvement as a high priority, which is normalizing the overall descendant balance and improving underutilized skills. So regardless of the original intent, we plan to address movement speed reductions that hinder skill usability. Next, as we saw earlier, we're getting a new Transcendent tier skin for the sword. And as our producer mentioned, this Transcendent tier sword skin can be purchased through the newly introduced event pass. So, producer,
What?
could you explain about this in more detail? 예, 그래서 오늘 아까 그 게임 빌드에서
What is an event pass?
Yeah, so it's this new sword pass, event pass over there that's coming out. And this is running for 4 weeks starting October 1st. After upgrading to premium with 1000 calibers and reaching level 30, you can receive all the rewards from the sword event pass.
네, 오늘 시연으로 보여드렸던 그림자.
So it's another battle pass, but it's monthly. So you've got your seasonal battle pass, right? That's what it sounds like. You have your like normal season battle pass that you buy for whatever, right? Like for like season 3. And then that season battle pass is going to be broken up into season 3 and season 3.5. So they're like 2.5, 3 month long battle passes, and then they're adding an additional battle pass that you buy per month.
초월 스킨 조화 균형과 데우스 엑스 마누스의 초월 스킨인 용광로를 패스 보상으로 획득할 수가 있고요. 이외에도 네임 카드, 가슴 부착물, 등 부착물.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Transcendent Skin, Harmony and Balance, and the Deus Ex Manus Transcendent Skin Furnace as the pass's reward. In addition, customization items like name cards, chest attachments, back attachments, sprays, paints, and growth items such as 4 crystallization catalysts are available. So we encourage everyone to participate. So Director, will we level the pass through the daily and weekly challenges like the battle pass? Yeah, 그럼 배틀 패스.
Dude, if you have to do special shit to level this on its own.
올리게 되는 걸까요?
네, 맞습니다. 검 패스 전용의 도전이 출시가 되고요. 검을 파밍하고 육성하면서 자연스럽게 달성할 수 있는 난이도로 구성을 했어요. 네.
Yeah, so exclusive challenges for the sword pass will be released, and they're designed to be naturally achieved while farming and leveling up your sword.
I know that like the new sword premium pass is only like 1,000 caliber, which is like $20 or something like that. Like it's not a huge amount of money, but it's just an additional fee to play the game.
It seems like we're nearly at the end of our dev live. But before we finish, we should definitely show everyone the new skins coming in October, right?
터치다운, 미식축구 컨셉으로.
It was kind of seen on the build. Well, yeah, this is one of the skins that's coming with the October 1st update. The common male skin, Touchdown.
네, 이 몸통박치 그쵸? 네, 저거지. 몸통박치기와 아주 잘 어울리는, 카일에게 잘 어울리는 바로 치어리더 컨셉의. 비바 스파클링즈 라는 스킨입니다. 루나하고 잘 어울리는 스킨인 것 같아요.
Yeah, so looking kind of like a traditional cheerleader outfit. The common skin for female descendants, Viva Sparklings.
당연히 응원 소셜 모션도 있어야겠죠. 짝짝짝짝짝.
Yeah, since we're having a cheerleading skin, we need a cheerleading social motion too, right? Yeah, I mean, that is so cute. Yeah. 있네요. Yeah, it does exist for males and.
아주.
Oh, yeah. Touchdown, Viva Sparklings, and this cheering for victory.
루나보다 잘 친 것 같은데?
Yeah. SMO is really doing well. Will also be released on October 1st. So yeah, please look forward to that. 그래서 이 귀여운 소셜 모션과 이 터치다운 비바 스파클링즈 모두 10월 1일에 출시될 예정이니 많은 기대 부탁드리겠습니다. And next up, we also have new skins coming October 16th. And from this point on, Albion will be decorated with this Halloween theme. You can't see it today, but yeah, and we also have like skins celebrating Halloween that will be added. Yeah, so the Halloween mummy skin, dizzying injury camouflage outfit.
이번 스킨은 공룡이 아니라 개별 스킨이고요. 글레이 지금 보신 루 헤일리 이네즈 버전이 출시가 됩니다.
So this is an individual skin, and versions for Glay, Haley, and Inez will be released. So next is the Dream Rascal skin, and it's actually a succubus concept skin.
네, 그래서 이것도 마찬가지로 개별 스킨이고 지금 보시는 세레나, 버니, 샤렌, 넬 버전이 출시가 됩니다. 네.
So you're seeing Sharina here, and this is also an individual skin with versions for Bunny, Sharon, Serena, and Nell being released. Yeah, next up. Wow, skin for male descendants.
야, 오늘의 주인공은
Creature.
애쉬모야. 카일도 아니고.
애쉬모네
오늘의 주인공. 저걸로 티어리딩 한번 해요. 네. 진짜 하네.
Oh,
네.
yeah. Looks really, yeah. 잘 어울리네요. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. This is a common skin as well. Additionally, on October 16th, Social Motions spawn effects, along with a Halloween-themed lounge diorama set, and figurines will be released, so please look forward to that. Moving on, let's take a look at the skins that will be added on October 23rd. 예, 그래서 이어서 10월 23일 추가되는 스킨들도 살펴보겠습니다.
네, 네, 바로 새로운 메이드 컨셉 스킨 클리닝 서비스고요. 네, 세레나의 모습입니다. 네.
So, introducing the new made concept skin cleaning service.
네, 클리닝 서비스는 세레나와 함께 비에사, 버니, 프레이나, 이네즈 버전이 같이 출시가 됩니다.
So in addition to Serena, cleaning service skins for Viessa, Bunny, Freyna, and Inez will also be released. Finally, we'll wrap up today's Dev Live by introducing events for October.
All right, let's see what the October events are.
정말 풍부한 것 같은데요. 이 마지막으로 이벤트를 좀
Hopefully it's something good, man. We need
소개해드리면서
something good to do in October.
So producer, could you give an introduction of the events? So the first event is New Sector Exploration. The event runs from October 2nd to November 6th, completing the newly updated Void Vessel medium-sized facility zone and the Void Intercept Colossus Lava Citadel will reward you with random swords, research materials, weapon enhancement cores, and other growth materials as well. And the next event is Albion Harvest Festival. This attendance event runs from October 1st to November 6th. So various rewards are available, including the fine adjustment control access for new sword weapon customization, festival-themed items,
Dream
and
tokens?
the 4 Albion social motion. You can also
Must be for a
earn
different
dream
shop.
tokens, and these tokens can be used in the next event, Miscellaneous Store of Dreams. Yeah, the final event is, I think I said the name wrong, but it's General Store of Dreams. So this event runs from October 16th to November 6th, and October means Halloween, so Albion will transform into a Halloween atmosphere. Beyond the attendance event mentioned earlier, clearing missions will also reward you with dream tokens, and these tokens can be exchanged for various Halloween-themed rewards, including photo stickers, chest and back accessories, ultimate weapons, and mutation cell selection boxes. So we encourage everyone to participate. Yeah, it is October, and hope everyone enjoys fall in Albion. 예, 그래서 벌써 이 10월이 다 돼가는데 알비온에서 즐거운 가을 보내시기 바랍니다. And since we're unable to host a live Q&A this time, we've selected questions from the community and prepared answers for them. 예, 그래서 이번에는 좀 저희가
All right, so I'm going to skip the Q&A because I always skip the Q&As. I feel like the Q&As are just not very good. So we're not going to deal with the Q&As. If there are any good Q&A stuff, then it's just not going to be added to this video. I'm sorry. We just normally don't do the Q&As. So now I'm going to give my thoughts. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. All right, guys, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on the dev live stream. And I'll start with the positives. I think their team is starting to understand some of the issues, and they're trying to work at making things better overall. One of the big sort of hangups for me is there's just seemingly an endless amount of things that need to be redone, redeveloped, and redesigned. And their team is constantly just like, hey, we need more time. We need more time. It's been a year. We need more time. And I think that the more time that they ask for, eventually they're just going to run out of goodwill with the community. So I'm not saying that I don't think they're trying. I think they are trying, and I think they're doing a good job at trying. So there were a lot of quality of life improvements and things that I think that they are doing that will take the game in the right direction long term. But for the short term, just looking at the swords, the way the swords are implemented, the new Void Vessel, all of this for me misses the mark pretty heavily. And it misses the mark for a lot of reasons we've discussed on the stream. I feel like the swords and the Void Vessel, the ideas behind them were developed 6 months ago when the game was in a completely different state. And the swords, the seeming lack of movement you have with the swords, and the fact that none of the swords are going to be any good for mobbing whatsoever, and they're not even going to be stat sticks, sort of points to a lack of understanding in the current state of the game. We need to get the swords in hand to see if they're actually useful for bossing, and if they do take the place of something like, say, the Last Dagger. to where you need to go farm a sword because the sword is like the best in slot for damage when it comes to single target damage. But we won't know that till we get them in our hands, and I'm not very hopeful based on what I've seen, but I would love to be proven wrong. Also, grinding the new Void Vessel, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be, which is just go from zone to zone, use your bike instead of running to the individual zones. Go to the zone, clear the zone, move on to the next zone, go to the zone, clear the zone, move on to the next zone. So, unfortunately, I'm not like really too impressed with the new Void Vessel. I'm not really too impressed with the new Void Vessel boss. I'm not really too impressed with the new swords, but again, we need to get them in hand. And then after watching Jason do the Lava Citadel, he seems very simple, and he seems like we're going to burn him out very, very quickly, because even most of the downtime that Jason had with the Lava Citadel came from him just being out of MP. And we all have better builds that either one help with MP or Descendants that just bypass the need for MP, and we'll be able to burn out the Lava Citadel. But to talk about the Lava Citadel for a second, and to go back to what I was saying in the beginning of my little spiel here, I like to see what they're doing with the Lava Citadel. I like the mechanics. I like that a lot of the mechanics are pretty straightforward. They're easy to see. They're seemingly fun and interesting. They're easy to figure out and interact with. But the downside is, while all these things are really great, all of them are going to get bypassed basically because of just everybody's strength in the current sandbox and the current state of the game. So it's one of these things where it shows a clear understanding of the game and a complete and total lack of understanding at the same time. And that is like really this disassociation that seems to be happening, that is giving players this weird sort of whiplash, right? Do they know what they're doing? Don't they know what they're doing? They'll talk about and showcase things that are cool and fun and interesting, but it's not actually what's happening in the real world. Even the segment of the Void Vessel, I'm going to cut large parts of that, because it just took way too long to run the Void Vessel because they wanted to showcase the sword, and the sword just underperformed so heavily, and then mixed out with Jaber, it took way too long to do the Void Vessel. It will never play out like that in game. So, you know, obviously we're going to continue to cover the game. We're going to continue to make content for the game, but I'm afraid that a lot of these things are going to miss the mark, and a lot of the stuff that is good, fun, or interesting is still watch and see. It's coming in the future. And I know a lot of players are getting tired of hearing like, well, it's coming in the future, it's coming in the future. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think the swords really showed off in a way that you're excited for? Are you excited for the new Void Vessel? Are you excited for the stuff that we're getting in October? Or are you more excited for the promises of the future? Definitely let me know. I'll try to pay attention to the comments on this video for a couple days and make sure I talk to you guys about it and we really engage about it. And you can always drop by the stream. I am still playing a lot of Borderlands, but I will be, you know, splitting my time between Borderlands and First Descendant. So you can always stop by and we can talk about some First Descendant. But as always, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this abridged version of the dev live stream. It was still pretty long, but hopefully this helps and makes it a little bit more palatable to watch. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.